Alexa, set volume to 3. How are you doing? I was going to write a journal entry. I usually start my day, but today I decided to do a video instead, like I did last time, and actually wanted to talk about something that I thought is interesting, at least interesting to me today, is the value of faith. You know, I think I've always struggled on and off with the religion and God and faith. But as of late, I've been sort of struggling with just work stuff, really. And the whole scheme of things, the work stuff, it's important to me. I love it. I enjoy it. But it's not the end-all, be-all of the world. But, sometimes there's that part of my brain that enjoys the hobby or the satisfaction I get from doing good work, producing value for other people. But no matter what the situation or what the case may be, a lot of the time you just get stuck in this place, whether it be for personal or for business or art or anything for that matter. You get, I get this feeling of, I guess you'd call it overwhelm. Maybe you call it anxiousness. Maybe you call it nerves. Who knows what you would call it. And I think what some people like to do is they'll call a friend or they will call a business partner or talk to their spouse. Or they will beat themselves up and wallow in their own difficult brain. And that's what I'm doing right now. And what I'm usually trying to do when I do that, tongue in cheek here, is I'm trying to find sort of a way to do mental ninjutsu or jujitsu on the problem that I'm solving. And that's the thing with a lot of these kinds of issues, is that when you are feeling this feeling, it's complex because there's lots of different feelings. Right? There's fear of failure. There's fear of success. There's fear of lots of work. There's, all these kinds of things. And a lot of it that comes from taking things too seriously. And that's what I do. I tend to take lots of things too seriously depending on my frame of mind. But I want to bring up faith because when I say the word faith and I think about God, it is, I don't know if you would call it magic or if you would call it God, but it's like a little bit of weight gets carried off, right? Because when you have faith, or you have something to have faith in, I don't even know what you would call it, but you just feel like someone is taking that weight and just helping you up a little bit. That's kind of like having a spot. I don't know if you never squat, me from deadlifting and squatting and lifting weights, sometimes you're doing some bench and it's a little too heavy and you can't lock it out and you just need someone there just to kind of lift it up just a little bit, right? And that's what faith in this sort of context is helping me. It's believing that it will all work out in the end. Where am I going with this? I don't know. It's just this is a journal entry. So it's just faith that everything will work out in the end. And you have lots of good problems, Ryan, and they're great. That's what's on my mind, right? Because in the whole, and that's faith. And then there's the other side of the token, which is just as effective as to, I'm going to curse, so I don't want to shock anybody in case I curse, in case you want to stop the video. But you just don't give a fuck, right? That's the other place. So you go the faith route. At least I go the faith route, and I find something to believe in, or everything's going to be okay. I pray, because I'll tell you, prayer works when you're stressed out or when you're having complex feelings. The second thing is I don't give a fuck. I've been listening a lot to Alex Hormozy, and he has been a very good kind of mentor from afar on YouTube. He's got some really great business stuff and stuff on psychology, but mostly he's business guy. But this idea of just not giving a fuck, right? Just not caring, right? I'd almost call it, I'm not even contempt. It's more like, hunting, right? I'm saying hunting because I don't care for hunting. It's not what I do. Guns, I don't care about, right? That's not.
Brushing your teeth shouldn't take this long, Ender.
And that's when we have Alexa going and we have someone needs to brush their teeth. Um, where was I going with this? When you don't think about something, you just don't care, and it doesn't bother you. And that's another way of changing the meaning of something, because faith is a way of adjusting your mental model of the world. It makes you see like, hey, everything's going to be okay. And if you really believe that, you will behave in that way. If you look at in I don't give a fuck land and like don't give a shit, or it's not important to me, it has the same effect where whether it works or doesn't work, it doesn't really matter. It's kind of one of my phrases. It doesn't really matter. I don't think that I say that because it's sort of a way to not be overcritical, because when I say it doesn't really matter, a lot of what I'm doing is to not impede action. Because the problem when you're trying to do something new, when you're trying to grow, is you have so many mental blocks, limiting beliefs, and doubt that are like brakes. It's like you're driving this car and you're trying to move forward to your destination, but your foot is on the brake at the same time. And when I say it doesn't matter really means it doesn't matter. Like whether you do it or don't do it, it doesn't matter. Ultimately, since your goal is to progress, you want to just do the thing, right? So what is the thing? I don't know. We're all complex. Like you're complex. You know, if you're watching this far, you're one of the few 5 or 6 people that watch my videos on occasion, or these kinds of videos. And well, what happens is you feel special. Maybe that's the wrong word, but you're unique. You are unique. I'm unique. And we have our own thoughts. You don't know what I'm thinking. I don't know what you're thinking. You have opinions about what I'm saying if you're listening to me, but they're not necessarily true. Not all of them are true. Some of them are true. And a lot of what we do when we interact with other people, read books, or interact with the world, I like to think that we're just trying to find a way to enjoy life, solve problems, grow, develop, or die. I mean, they're all growing or dying. It's funny. Seems they actually can mean the same thing. Because in the end, none of us make it out of this world alive, right? That's what happens when you listen to Alex Hormozy's stuff. He talks a lot about that kind of thing, or he says a lot about that thing about how not everything matters and so few things matters. And I don't necessarily think it can be a depressing way to look at the world, but I don't think it is. It's just a way. It's just one other way to look at a problem or to look at a situation. I don't think it's wrong or right. I think what it is does it serve you? Is it helping you? And a lot of the time, I think that's all we're trying to do is when we process thoughts and we process the world and we go about our life, we're trying to find a way to take or observe or learn so that we can use the things that make sense to us so that we can have the life that we want or live the life that we are living. Anyways, thanks for watching.